Oh, my head is still swimming.
You ever hear about someone...
The last time we...
Truly, I never... Of course. What do you want to know?
I'm in your service.
Here to...
My blade is yours.
What?
Another day, another infernal hailstone.
I have a unique opportunity for scholastic research today.
What do you want?
Listen to your daughter, Svargrim. We need to do something.
Don't test me, Redharn. I know exactly what I need to do. Our enemies circle ever closer, and now even my daughter turns against me. What's next? Will my beloved wife return to accuse me of some heinous crime? Well, get to it. Tell me about Svana's miraculous elixir before I have the lot of you tossed out. You represent my most hated enemy, and expect me to believe a word you say? Even if you speak true, worms have found purchase in the wood and seek to rot my kingdom from within. I will not let Solitude and the Western Holds fall. Trust Svana. Perhaps. No. No! Your honeyed words are but echoes of my most obstinate foes. You offer a miracle with one hand, while holding a poison dagger in the other. Hell, I need no help from the likes of you.
Don't be a fool, father. This elixir will save our people.
I didn't think you had it in you, daughter. You have actually surpassed my expectations, more's the pity. And I'll hear no more talk of this miracle elixir.
Father!
The Grey Host is my true ally. Once the Harrow Storm engulfs Solitude, my kingdom will endure for all eternity.
I should have sensed it. Svargrim's a vampire.
Svana.
Not now, Lyris. I need to think about this.
Svargrim's a bastard, but King Yoren believed he had the best interest of his people at heart. Obviously, something changed. And with Solitude targeted for a massive Harrow Storm, things have gotten more complicated. Not everything is as grim as it appears. We did create an elixir. That's our best chance of protecting the people from the Harrow Storm. We just need to distribute it. In the meantime, take this. It may not seem like much, but you earned it.
Father, how could you?
Like every good story, your tale just grows in the telling.
My father, working with the Grey Host. How long has he been a part of this? Did he have a hand in Mother's death? And what has he told them? You're right. I know you're right. It's just... he's my father. No. I have to focus. There's a Harrow Storm coming. We have to save the city. That's what's important right now. I'm not sure we can. But we can make more of Fenn's elixir. Get it into the hands of the people. We need more of Arkay's sacred oil, though. We'll have to take it from the supply stockpiled at the Temple of the Divines.
They've taken it! By the gods, it's fallen!
Fallen? What are you talking about?
The Grey Host. They came out of nowhere, captured the temple and the Tower of the Wolf. We're locked out!
Then the sacred oil.
Damn it all! I need to get down there!
Follow him! Now, soldier, tell me exactly what happened.
Done. The Grey Host has found a foothold. Now the city is lost.
Not yet, it isn't. On your feet, Sorthane. We have work to do.
Yes, Princess Svana. I apologize for that display. Tell the princess... tell her it won't happen again. You need to understand. I pledged my sword and my soul to the High King. We all did. And he betrayed us. Nothing good, I'm sure. The Grey Host appeared out of nowhere and cut down my soldiers. Only a handful were able to escape before they sealed the gates. Not that I can think of. But what does it matter? Svargrim brought the Grey Host down a...
That's unacceptable, Sorthane. If we can't get the sacred oil to make more elixir, then we have to stop the Harrow Storm.
Princess, we've kept watch. There aren't any witch pikes around the city.
Then you missed something. They needed the witch pikes for every other Harrow Storm they summoned.
Of course. Blackreach. The Grey Host must have gained access to the temple from beneath the city.
They could easily hide the witch pikes underneath our feet.
We know the Grey Host has been using Blackreach to clandestinely move around Western Skyrim. Why not launch their attacks from there?
Then we're going back to Blackreach. If the witch pikes are there, we'll destroy them. My father. A vampire. He sat on his throne, pretended to mourn for my mother, and said he had a plan. but all the while... I know. It's just... Look, we were never close. Not really. But he's my father. My king. What about you? Could you do it? Could you confront and maybe even kill one of your parents? Such confidence. As sharp and as cold as my dagger's blade. Lives hang in the balance. But I'm conflicted about committing. I'm going to do whatever I can to stop the Harrow Storm and save Solitude and its people. After that, we decide what needs to be done about Svargrim.
As a junior member of House Ravenwatch, I never expected to be in the thick of things like this. Am I looking forward to going back to where Singolis experimented on me? Not even remotely. The Grey Host can't summon the Harrow Storm without performing their ritual. And we know that requires witch pikes. So there's that. I had hoped to secure the sacred oil, and make enough elixir to distribute throughout the city. You're absolutely right. Especially after...
Yorin sent me with a warning for Solitude. Now I'm about to march into the starless depths of Blackreach to try to avert a massacre. How do I keep getting myself into these kinds of situations? I thought you knew me better than that. Taking on the impossible challenge, beating the unbeatable foe. This is what I'm good at. So yes, I do have to do this. And we're going to win. We have to. Svargrim. To cast his lot with the Grey Host, become a vampire, threaten his own people with the Harrow Storm. It's madness. One thing's for certain. We have to stop him. One step at a time. First we make our way down into Blackreach. Then we find the ritual site. It must be right beneath the city. We smash witch pikes and kill as many Grey Host bastards as possible. After that, we pray to Kyne and hope for the best.
Where's that caravan? It should have arrived by now.
Another dead soldier and no sign of our supplies.
What do you want?
That could be helpful.
That's ominous. And, unless I miss my guess, it's directly under Solitude. That's our target. The ritual site must be somewhere inside that horrid structure. I scouted the area before you arrived. It's full of Grey Host forces. And from what I could tell, Svagrim and Rada al-Saran are both inside. Not so fast. If we rush down as a group, they'll be on us like a snow bear on a horker. You go ahead. Try to cross the bridge to the main entrance. It's well guarded, but you're more than capable. Or you could try the alternative. There's a sluice gate in the outer courtyard tucked away against the keep's eastern wall. The few patrols in that area can be avoided if you're stealthy. Opening the gate requires a key, but that should be simple enough to find. You know your strengths and weaknesses better than I do. Play to those. But whichever path you decide, move quickly. We need to find the ritual site and deal with the witch. Cross the bridge, or use the sluice gate to get into the inner courtyard. Then find the keep's side entrance, east of the main stairs. I'll stay with... That's a good question. I didn't see anything when I scouted the exterior, so...
Is Lyris seeing someone that you know of? You know what? Don't answer that. Forget I asked. Where were we going next?
Nice of you to join us.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with these flasks?
If we run into trouble, throw one of them at the source. Then get out of the way.
Split up and find the ritual site. We need to disrupt it.
Split up? I suppose that makes sense. I'll go with our friend here. This looks important. This book? I recognize the handwriting. It's Singolis's. It's more of his research. Harrowstorms, witch pikes, netherroot brew. How it all works together for the benefit of the Grey Host. This might be something. I just need to skim through these assumptions and incantations. What's this? Instructions on the placement of runes throughout Greymore. All the way to... My gods! This entire tower! It's a witch pike! The magic I sensed earlier. It was familiar because it's the same magic used in the Harrowstorm rituals. Don't you see? This entire keep is the ritual site. They turned the tower into a witch pike. But at the scale, it's inconceivable. I'm not sure we can destroy this tower. We need to keep going. Find a way to disrupt the ritual. But I think I understand what they're doing. Singolis found a way to release the Grey Host from Cold Harbor by using the Harrowstorms. The Harrowstorms steal life energy, and use it to pull the souls of the Grey Host out of Cold Harbor and into the Grey Reliquaries. It's quite ingenious. How they reincorporate, though. It has something to do with those stone husks, I think. Oh, most certainly. Perhaps even a way to reverse the effects of the Harrowstorms and restore the Harrowed. If the notes are complete, it would just require study, experimentation, and time. Unfortunately, we lack all three of those at the moment. Lyris, Svanna, I think this entire tower functions as a witch pike.
What? Fen, how is that even possible?
The energy! It burns!
That's my father! This way!
Pain is part of the process, Svargrim.
It's exquisite! My master!
Once you are attuned to Greymore, the storm will be yours to command. Rise, Svargrim, and unleash my storm upon Solitude. Then the last of the Grey Host shall be reborn.
The Ashen Lord. He turned Svargrim into the heart of his Harrowstorm.
They're moving higher up the tower. We need to follow them!
You and Fen take these stairs. Svanna and I will go this way.
Look, a Grey Reliquary. It's massive. Just like the storm they planned to unleash on the city.
With us in that fight.
And so the thorns arrive once more to prick my thumbs.
A barrier.
And Brother Al-Saran?
Your persistence begins to annoy me, mortal. You killed my beloved brother and sister, Singalis and Ulfra. I freed them, and you sent them back. Back to the hated Molag Bal. I will see you suffer. As much as it would please me to flay the flesh from your bones, I have more pressing matters to attend to. Bold words, but futile. Svargrim rises, and the Harrowstorm with him. Once the attunement is finished, they will be unstoppable.
What happened? What did that damn vampire do?
He's merging the power flowing through the key with Svargrim, giving him control of the Harrowstorm.
Then you must undo it. I'll stay and help. Leaders, you and our friend keep going up and find my father.
Get ready to fight. Keep moving. Don't let them surround us. Dead end?
We weren't able to stop the attunement spell. It's just getting stronger.
That tower. It must lead to the upper levels. I need time to get that door open.
Everyone, protect Fen! Good job. Through the door into the upper levels now. Hurry!
Just... No! The shaking is getting worse.
Damn magic! Give me something to hit!
The magic. Salsaron. The attunement is almost complete.
The attunement is complete, Svalgrim. You and Greymore Keep are one. I leave the harrowing soul to you. Remember
I hope I was of some assistance.
So high up, but still far beneath the ground.
my friend.
Abandon me in our moment of triumph? What game do you play, Rada al-Sana?
Game?
This is connected to
I
Castle
gave you power.
How long has my father
If
been
you
planning
can't
this?
conquer Skyrim, the fault is your own. Now ascend to your Tower of the Wolf and unleash my most potent Herald Storm. The Grey Host is counting on you, little king.
Oh, do you feel that? I know. He probably had a hand in my mother's death. Thank you, but let's see what happens when we get there.
Hold, friends! We followed the booming voices. Where's Svargrim?
My father's ascended into solitude.
Oh my.
What is it now, Fen?
Oh, nothing. Just don't look down. These tunnels look freshly dug. The Grey Host has certainly been busy. Harrow Fiends! Is that what became of the herald Svargrim brought to Castle Dower?
I do believe we're good at this.
Up ahead! That's the temple's underground.
Is that Princess Vana?
Harrowstorm. It's begun.
Look! Above the Tower of the Wolf. The storm's only partially formed.
My father's up there. Open the gates and let's go.
But the Harrow Fiends below the temple. If they escape into the streets.
You and I will keep that from happening. Take the princess and deal with Svargrim, partner.
Yes. It's the only option. Let's go. I'm with you, my friend. Up the stairs.
Get to the tower and stop
My
Svargrim.
father is at the
We'll hold the gate.
We need to get up the ramp and onto the walls. That's our way to the Tower of the Wolf.
to bear witness to my ascension? Rada al-Saran has given me power beyond anything you can imagine. Behold!
Your prowess was befitting a knight. Well done. You got this!
How is this possible?
Enough, father!
That was for Mother. For Son. And for every soul in Skyrim. Your ambition, your greed. Look what it led to. We need to hurry. My father betrayed everything to aid the Grey Host. With his death, Solitude is saved. It's done. We killed my father and ended the Herostorm. The city still stands. Skyrim still stands. No, of course not. My father was the High King of Western Skyrim. I always thought he had the best interests of our holds and our people in his heart. But there was a darkness there. Jealousy, bitterness. He wanted to control all of Skyrim. For Svargrim, yes, I think it was. As for Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host, I am not entirely sure what they're after. Enough of this. I need to get to work. With my father gone, someone has to pick up the pieces and restore the holds. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then rest. Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. Other wounds will take longer. We'll have more to do soon enough. Whatever Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host were planning, I think the worst is behind us as far as Western Skyrim is concerned. With with Svargrim dead, their grip on the holds comes to an end. Not officially. At least I don't think so. I feel like the whole world's crumbling around me. But the city's still standing, so that's something. I'm more worried about our friends. We left Lyris and Fen to hold off a horde of Harrow fiends. Hopefully they were able to hold the courtyard and keep those monsters out of the city. You go on ahead and check on them. I need to collect myself. Solitude needs Princess Svanna now. And I'm not quite ready to be her. Thank you. Help them and anyone else as best you can. I'll do the same. Once you're done with them, I'll find you and we can figure out what to do next. Gods, I hope so. Haven't we dealt with enough already? I need to see what happened firsthand. All the suffering and pain my father caused. I can't undo it, but I can make amends. Or at least try to.
Tell me truthfully, Lyris. How much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. But things were looking rather bleak before the clouds parted. We held the gate as long as we could. But the Harrow fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once they burst through, Lyris cleaved through them like a scythe through wheat. But even she couldn't stem the tide. I'm not really sure. I kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. Not my finest hour, but we survived. The elixir is my next priority, of course. As long as the Harrow Storms are still a threat, we need a defense against them. After that, I want to examine the records we took from Greymoor Keep. I still think there's a cure for the Herod in there. Sadly, I don't think there's any hope for them. Their life energy was sucked dry, turning them into feral beasts. Restoring them is beyond my capabilities, I'm afraid. At least with the Herod, they're not so far gone as to be a lost cause. As soon as we produce enough of it, yes. We saw how it protected Svanna. Now, where did I put my flask?
So, is it over? What happened to Svargrim? And where's Svanna? A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. And Solitude's going to need that strength in the coming days. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, my king's a skald, so what do I know? Come on, there's probably something productive we should be doing. Find out if everyone in the Hall of the Dead is all right. I'll make sure Castle Dower is secured. We did our best to hold the Harrow fiends inside Castle Dower, but nothing short of stone walls were going to keep those monsters from pushing through. Seemed like everyone I killed was replaced by 2 more. Almost didn't. We were nearly overrun before Fen went wild. I've never seen him like that, snarling and showing what a true vampire can do. Took the Harrow fiends by surprise and we routed them. I did have to thwack him to clear his head, though.
Lyris is so intimidating. How can you stay so calm around someone so powerful?
see you aren't raising bugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but we heard nothing since you departed from Blackreach.
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back, but I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good, but a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get in the days to come. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen, eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the harrow storms, and I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. None good, but none bad either. My wife knows better than anyone how to care for our people. I trust she and my Thane to protect and care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could, and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess, with the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey Host! The Skald King, with an army from the east!
What treachery is this?
To the gates! Well?
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skald King before we start a war.
Sure, save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler? Oh, familiar face. Maybe you can talk some sense into these Western milk drinkers. We're not a damn invasion. We're here to help. Do you know what's going on? So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
Yoren is
no
a
need
Skald
of help
King,
that
right?
involves welcoming
That's kind
your
of like a
soldiers
bard.
within our walls.
I wonder if he still sings
My
in public.
walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside the helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King.
I haven't seen Princess Svanna since we were children. I saw her once, a long time ago. There was some brief moment in my childhood. I think it wasn't long after my father became High King.
Thank you. For holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fenn is with old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, Join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
Did the princess say something about an elixir? Windhelm?
Just a small donation?
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough. I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the Netherroot showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far, I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingerd's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis's refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of Netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks. We can ransack Greyhost's stockpiles, or mount an expedition into Blackreach. Otherwise, it would take decades of work to produce a proper crop. After we get the elixir squared away, we'll turn our attention to curing the Herald. Indeed. As I surmised, the Grey Reliquaries contained the remains of ancient Greyhost warriors. They served as a connection to the souls trapped in Cold Harbor. Using the energy from the Harrowstorms, the souls were pulled into the stone husks. I believe the stone husks are incubators of a sort. The physical forms of the Grey Host are reincorporated within the stone vessels, through a mix of Singolis's alchemy and sorcery, and the magic of the Ice Reach witches. When whole, they burst free.
I have seen many things in my time, but never could I have predicted I would soon train adepts of the Mages Guild in the arts of my ancestors. This is an institution of elves. They know nothing of the soul of the world. Here, magic is a thing to be measured and weighed. Mages know necessity and a hope they can learn. If we're to brew enough elixir for everyone in the kingdom, it will take all the herb grinders.
What do you want?
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Harrowstorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen!
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain!
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here! We are still standing!
The fallen now march home to hallowed halls, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.
We made it through, if barely. When the clouds began to gather over Castle Dower, I feared I'd have to witness... Thank you for stopping it. I don't know that my heart could bear another Carthwatch. The rest of Carthold fared as poorly as its capital. The hold has been laid to waste, its people dead or scattered. With so few left to rebuild and resettle, I have already pledged myself to Svanna. I will serve as her court mage. I hope to counsel her better than I did Jarl Ulfwen. For now, I've used my status in the Mages Guild to solicit their aid in producing the Harrowstorm elixir.
I'm glad to be done with this. Diplomacy and investigation aren't my favorite pastimes. They seem to suit you, though. You stepped up to the task better than I could have hoped. I'll be staying so long as Yoren's here, or until I can persuade him to send me after Rada al-Saran. That leech owes a lot of blood to us, and I intend to squeeze it out of him. We have to find him first. Whatever his plans were after sacking Solitude, we haven't uncovered them. With any luck, the Skald King will send me on a raid of the Grey Host, and I can beat some answers out of a few of them. Count on it.
I could not have said it better myself. Princess Svanna? Of course. Some may choose to blame her for her father's misdeeds, but I will seek forgiveness.
I hadn't had a moment to honor the fallen of Morthal since you came to my doorstep. Kind willing, they made their when things are settled here, Jarl March has weathered these storms better than Hafingar and Carthal. If we can keep the kingdom from complete collapse, it's worth a few weeks away from my home and hearth.
Princess Jarl Svanna reminds me more of the Queen every passing moment. We're in good hands, I think. I'll pledge myself to her, if she'll have me. He did, but I was by his side day in and day out. If anyone should have seen what he was becoming and put a stop to...
In their own way, the people of Western Skyrim are as strong as the Nords of the East. Even after so much suffering, they still stand against the howling wind. We shall do everything within our power to help them recover. Blood alone does not make one worthy to rule a hold, let alone an entire kingdom. The princess will lead for now, but many questions must be answered before the Jarls crown a new ruler of Solitude. That's what a moot is for. If Princess Svanna agrees, I want to bring more of my people from Eastmarch to help restore Solitude and the Western Holds. My retinue is too small to deal with everything. We need more hands. All I can do is to offer my aid in good faith. Whether they decide to grab my hand or to slap it away, that's up to them. Despite our differences, I love this land. It's as much Skyrim as my beloved Eastern Holds. I would not see it suffer. Today, no, the time isn't right. As for the future, who can say? Svargrim was never interested in finding a path to reconciliation. Princess Svanna isn't a father, that much is clear. So I suppose I can hope.
My heart goes out to these people. We are no strangers to conflict back east, but none of our holds have been ravaged by the kind of devastation brought by the Grey Host. We are fortunate that you stopped them. So I've heard. The princess has come a long way from the girl I met so long ago. And I've changed as well. I'm not quite as obnoxious and close-minded as I was when my father first formed the Ebonheart Pact. At least I try not to be. If the princess remains in charge of the Western Holds, I think the chances of true reconciliation are good. My father will certainly do everything he can to make that happen. And so will I. Princess Svanna, she's become a very impressive woman.
After everything I've seen, I can no longer place my faith in Meridia. But I refuse to abandon my friends. We will attempt to seal the temple and purge the corruption. If it were up to me, I would leave it in ruins.
I could not have said it better myself. I could not have said it.
bastards who did this. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to make them pay for it. But we're done chasing ghosts below ground for now. We're here to help however we can. Once we help the people of Solitude get back on their feet, I imagine we'll go back to Blackreach. Though our initial investigation didn't reveal anything supernatural, there is still much to uncover and explore. I do not believe our work here is over.
As soon as we heard the news, Claudina insisted we come to offer whatever aid we could. Once again, you have proven yourself to be incredibly brave and downright fearless. If there's anything I can do to help, just ask. Claudina seems intent on going back to Blackreach. After we help the poor people of this place rebuild, we'll head there. Spirits may not have been the culprits of what happened in Dusktown, but that doesn't mean they aren't down there.
I can't think of a more fitting send-off for my father than lords of both kingdoms mourning side by side. Skyrim may be divided, but at least our honored dead are united in Sovngarde. Yoren, Redharn, and I need to form a plan to distribute Fenn's elixir and push back against the Grey Host. And acquire more netherroot, it seems. There's a lot to be done, but I'm surrounded by good people. I trust we'll get through this together. I can't leave everything to you, you know. Well, I probably could. But even Isgramor took a rest now and again. Let us shoulder the burden for a while. I'm sure I'll need to call on you again soon enough. I don't know. It's not important, not right now. What matters is rallying the people against the enemy. Our real enemy. If that means seeking the crown, then I'll do what needs to be done. Sovngarde is a place for the honored dead. Svargrim gave up his seat in the Hall of Valor when he made his pact with the Ashen Lord. Wherever he is, I hope he regrets how he got there.
I asked a Nord about one of the 3 slashes inked on her right bicep. Apparently, she got it after avenging her brother, who died hunting a bear.
When I was a kid, on cold nights, I used to curl up by the fire in the Castle Navir main hall. I'd sit there with a book and fall asleep over the pages. Simpler times, eh?
I'm glad to be done with this. Diplomacy. I'll be staying so long as Yoren's here. Whatever his plans, count on it.
I can't think of a more fit...
You'd think that someone with my experience in combat and diplomacy would not consistently...
I hadn't had a moment to honor the fallen.
What is it?
Ice shields walking the streets of solitude? What's our home coming to?
I killed him.
I hear the tremors are...